Hey, how's it going, guys? Tony here, Creative Fish Studio. It's been a while, I know. There's been a lot of stuff going on, personal things. I just don't want to get into all the details right now. Still keeping fish. I've got a lot less fish tanks, so the fish room has reduced in size because I'm really focused more on the pond out here and a couple of 3 tanks that I kept in particular, the 2 saltwater and 1 goldfish tank. So I've also got 2 100-gallon stock tanks on the side of the house that I'll show you in a second, because we're about to take those fish out as it's getting colder here. But let me show you the pond because it's looking really good right now. All right, so the weather is cooling down here in Virginia. It's not getting crazy cold yet, but I'm starting to lose some of my plants, and so they're down in the bottom, and we'll winterize, put those down to the bottom depths for the winter. But right now we still got some growth coming from the lily pads. And I've got some lilies, water lilies over there that are done growing, and they'll go down to the bottom here in a bit. But we've got the little bubbler here in the middle, and we do finally have the 3 waterfalls, I guess, coming out of that little, I don't know, it's like a modern waterfall that I have there, where it's just a little line of rock that they come kind of out of, which is what I was going for. And I've just got some stones stacked over the back to cover up some of the hosing and all that. This hose is actually going right now to the pool, which I am cleaning up and winterizing right now. So it's actually looking really good right now. So the whole backyardscape is looking really good. We've got water features, the fire pit there, and then the pond sitting right here, which we have beautiful views of right out of our house here, with the lights shining down. So at night it's beautiful. It's nice and clear. You can actually see one of the caves right there. It's hard with the reflections, but there's a stone that runs flat across, which is what that bubbler sits on. And there's a channel that goes underneath it, which you might have seen in the making of video. And there's another one just like it over there on that wall. And that's a full cave. This is more of a tunnel. You can see some of the fish peeking out from underneath it right there. The water's a little bit murky today. I kind of stirred some stuff up as I was cleaning out some leaves and all that. So that'll settle. The filters will take care of it. I've got the Laguna in the back there, and then I've got another filter down here. So I've actually got 2 running right now in order to keep it nice and clear. But you can see my wall of plants is looking beautiful behind the waterfall. The grasses have really grown up and filled in, kind of blocks our view here and keeps it on the pond. So my son's over here playing right now in it. Say hi, everybody. So he's coming with me. We're going to catch some of the goldfish, aren't we? And we're going to put some of the comets in here, and then we may put some of the fancies in here as well as it gets colder and the koi and everything kind of calm down a little bit. They shouldn't run into issues there as far as, you know, the nipping and having to fight for food and all that. So we'll see. I haven't decided fully yet on that. Some of my plants and all that have been moved into a 40-gallon breeder inside with some fancy goldfish as well, which we'll show you, which is where I might put the fancies for now, which will overcrowd it, but we'll just have to keep up on water changes. So let's do it. All right, well, we just had a lawnmower start, so I'm gonna have to do the audio in post and add it and just talk about what we're doing here. But basically we've got 2 tanks. Let's drain them. You wanna hit the knob? There you go. So what we got in here, just a really huge sponge filter, and then one of my regular sponge filters that I use, which is probably filthy right now, here. And I'm using a rock here to hold it against the wall because it keeps coming up. But those need to be cleaned. Same thing in this one. There's a big sponge filter, and then another one. But this is for water changes, so I can walk away and I'll never go too low. You know, there's a bottom drain that comes in them, but this is my safety, so if I forget about it, I won't drain it all the way.
Way down there.
Right here, 2 of them. That one? Yep, he's in there. That's one of them. All right, so as you can see, we've got the goldfish tank here. It's a 40-gallon breeder. What I'm doing is, because the temperature is way different, I'm just kind of acclimating them with some of the water that's in here, and then I'll just pull them out by hand. So that's kind of what I've got going on with these right now. So just doing it slowly. That's the second cup of these that I've poured in here, and then I'll just pull these guys out by hand, and we'll drop them in here in a little bit. Alright guys, so the transplant or the move of the goldfish has gone well. I've put 3 new ones in here, which I know the overcrowding police are going to come probably and hammer me on this video in the comments, but this is not the forever home. I do plan to put a 100-gallon stock tank out here for some of the goldfish. I really only plan to keep maybe 4 tops in this 40-gallon breeder. I know that goldfish are a little bit messy, and I do keep up with water changes in here, especially when I'm doing the lights right now, because trying to keep these plants alive, which isn't looking so good for the water hyacinth. It's looking pretty good actually for the water lilies here, other than the fish eating on them. I'm using a Fluval LED full spectrum, and it is for plants. You can see it here in the water illuminating. I might actually, I've got another Fluval here. It isn't full spectrum, but I might just power that on for extra light on them. I don't think it would hurt, but I'm already making everything turn green in the tank. So I just scrubbed down all the walls. I did miss this spot right over here because the lights were off and I couldn't see when I did it, but overall everything seems happy in here. Like I said, doing water changes twice weekly now that I have this many fish in here. Was doing it once a week, so I will change my regimen, and I'll be doing 5 gallons at a time, 2 times a week, just to kind of spot hit whatever's on the bottom here. But I have no substrate in here. I have mechanical filtration basically through sponge filters, and I've got this Fluval Aqua Clear 70, I think it is. That's running as well, which actually has quite a bit of flow. I don't know if they like that or not, but yeah, it just works well going across the tank. I know most people do it from the back. In this setup, it hides away best over here. Gives me my viewing room there, lets me stay tight to the wall so I'm not pulled off, and doesn't block if I put it on the front. So it just fit perfectly in there, so that's where it is. It's right by the sink, which is right down here, so that I can quickly do changes and stuff as needed. So my wash tub is right there, but overall they're looking happy in there. And so until I get that 100-gallon stock tank moved and put in the garage here for the winter, this is kind of the setup I have. If anybody has any ideas for the water hyacinth, I know they're hard to keep over winter, but they were kind of expensive to really fill my pond. They did not take off like most people say they do for me. Most of them shrunk in size, getting, you know, this size smaller, not the big tall ones that I'm used to. I think because my parents had goldfish and I have a lot of koi, and I think that they're just more brutal maybe to the root bases. I don't know, but they didn't spread like crazy, and that's why I got the stock tank, so as to move them out there and let them grow on the side of the house, and then be able to transplant them to the bigger pond to offer some shade. Anyway, that's just a little side note, but yeah, the fish move has gone successfully. I didn't record it because I was using my hands to pull the fish out of the bucket and put them in. So all seems well. We've got one here, one scooting across there, and whoops, in the back, the black moor, and the other one is, I think, behind. Yeah, here he is. There they are. The other two are right there. Okay, so that's what I've got going on right now. Basically working on the ponds and the goldfish stuff. I need to get in and clean out the 2 saltwater tanks. They're doing well. I just need to scrape some algae off the glass before I really want to show those. I don't like showing that little bit of laziness on my part. So I'll work on doing that and getting a video up and update on those for you guys soon. So thanks for tuning in. As always, guys, Tony here, Creative Fish Studio. We'll catch you next time.